Hello everyone, and welcome back to some Elden Ring. Today I've just got three really honest invasion scenarios, and although it might not be as thrilling as some of the ridiculousness that we saw with Dungeon Master and trying to clear out ganks, when you're in it, you can have just a lot of really good tension in honest invasions. Here we're in Elfale. I'm using my level for 94 +9 somber build, strength faith, and great stars is here is really nice because I recover a little bit of HP on every hit. It has good hyper armor. It staggers enemies well, and with this build I can use bestial vitality to keep up health because there's a lot of enemies, and it's a tough level, especially because this crew is a little bit under-leveled comparative to doing a true casual where you can get max level upgrade weapons. But as I was saying about, I want to show off some of these just like really honest, fun invasions that are just like fun for everybody, because most people get invaded before they invade. So if you, as an invader, give a fun PvP experience, you'll get people either to want to play more scenarios. And here's Jar Warrior. They're amazing, really friendly invader. Unfortunately, they were going for the weapon shake, and I got the guard break or post. But they know what they're doing, and they know the map, so they know to just like duck down and be safe. But yeah, like, so giving people just like positive, fun, just like using fun builds and just doing fun things when you're an invader. Like, by all means, have your means set up if need be, but you can. I think it promotes more honest invasions in co-op, because people will be playing co-op because like they want to get invaded. They want that taste of PvP, but while they're still playing with their friends, even if you are kind of playing with randoms. And here, just in this, it is tense because like we haven't really gotten the flavor of how Jar Warrior is gonna fight yet, but they had the Banished Knight's greatsword, and I'm pretty sure that Lilith doesn't have a ton of health, but they're giving us the weapon wiggle. Like, we're here having a nice time because this is the video on honest invasions. But yeah, like, I missed the backstab. We just go like, haha, and like flaming strike, and like all of us too, like we're using like good stuff, but it's nothing like mean. Like, great stars is fine. It's just really bad at chasing people, so I grab a halberd, like the vulgar militia shuttle. Like, it has some shield piercing. Like, it is my workhorse kind of, and also like this is super honest because it's like we're going through the level. Like, it's like, for an invasion, like, it's not always super fun. Like, if people, like, when you invade, like, they run back to the gray side away from enemies. Here, I think, like, I messaged him afterwards, and the player of Jar Warrior was super nice, and they were having a good time in the invasion. And like, you can see from like their demeanor, like with the weapon wiggles and stuff, it's like we're all having a good time. And like, yeah, it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game where we're being very careful, trying to move from safe area to safe area, but we are trying to make our way through the level, which means there's lots of opportunities for PvE to get involved, which makes it nice for the invader because it's not just one guy versus three dudes in an open field trying to like dodge and not get hit. Like, there's terrain, there's other cool stuff going on. This is there's just a whole lot going on. As you can see, like he's working the doorway to make sure that he doesn't get hit. RL80 just like fell a little bit, so now there's only two people to worry about. And again, he's still got the doorway to keep everything safe from the projectiles, and the halberd's a little bit more swingy. There I pull out the Stormhawk axe to try and catch the doorway. I probably said it before, but sometimes people treat this one as like an L2 machine, but axes are fun. I'm swinging this axe, but with the Banished Knight's greatsword, he's got a little bit more range, especially with Flaming Strike. And here he's just like, nope, I'm gonna jump down, be safe. We're not gonna get caught. We're not gonna get caught in that. Yeah. So although there's like not constant fighting with the invaders, like we're always doing something. We're either like moving through the level, we're on the lookout. There's PvE to worry about, and everyone's just using like solid stuff. Now here we come up to a little bit of a pause, because what we don't want is the host to get shot by ballista. Like those ballista are nasty. Like those ballista are very helpful, even just like when clearing like ganks and other stuff. So and also on the other side there's a putrid avatar, and those guys are nasty to deal with. And just because of how, I don't know if it's like super prevalent for like PvP, but there's enough frost stuff where if you have the ability, I would recommend keeping frost ballistas on your hotbar, or at least somewhere in ready access, because the extra damage is nothing to beat. Yeah, it's rough in here. I'm being again very careful not to aggro the ballistas. And like again, Jar Warriors just doing what they can, working the corner. And as you could have seen by like a minute ago, the slightly refalling Halig Tree Soldier, some connectivity issues are unfortunately starting to build up, just like globally in this one. Jar Warrior again, it's like he wants us to come to the ballista. Here we're kind of just like on the stairs a little bit, but you gotta do. Sometimes you have a little bit of a standoff, but RL80 is now taking the lead to hopefully to try and lead Lilith over to here. And then now Lilith is on the way, and we move to one of the craziest rooms, but it's still better than the putrid avatar of a couple Clean Rod Knights and other Halig Tree Soldiers. It's not as crazy as the Perfumer room in Lindell, but it's still really crazy. But yeah, and then Jar Warrior is right on our heels, and it is just chaos. Like, it's tense, no one knows what's going on. It's just a massive fight of, like, and as you can see, like, RLA is having a little bit of, like, standstill, latency, lag stuff. There are moonwalking Clean Rod Knights. It is just crazy. Host is in trouble. Like, invasions like this where it's just like a giant mess and a brawl is just so much fun, because it's one of those ones where you're just in it, so you're like you want to win, you feel it's super tense, and like stuff like this I think is like why how people start to get into PvP. Like the first time I was ever invaded was in Dark Souls 3, and the guy just honor dueled me in the swamp. And I was just like, oh, I guess invasions go like that. No, not every time, unfortunately. That was a more pleasant invasion than a lot of the ones that I had in Dark Souls 3. And see, like, here I am out of flasks. This is, like, things are desperate, it's intense, and we're just like, okay, time to regroup and recover. Our Lady dropped a warming stone. Like, we're regrouping. And again, like, this is, sure, it's like a passive moment, but it's not anything, what I would say is like egregious of like super annoying to invaders. And as you can see, Jar Warriors now pulled out the jar cannon to get us moving. Like, again, like, it's not like we're running all the way back to the site of grace. We're regrouping around a warming stone in a place that we just cleared. Like, we're still working our way through the level. And as you might guess, this invasion unfortunately ends up what I would say is in a draw, because it's like so tense. And see, like, Jar Warrior, like, they're fine. We're gonna give each other a weapon wiggle. Like, we're having a good time. Like, yeah, with that, like, they were just using the jar cannon to get us moving, and then we came and fought. Like, it's unfortunate that one just ended in like in a global DC, but that was still just so much fun. I wanted to share it with you guys just because it's like the running tension of like we're almost at the next grace. Now here I'm jumped up to the intelligence build, but this one is a real more early build of it, because as you can see, I don't have my Moonlight Greatsword upgraded yet. But here we have like another pretty darn honest invasion going to happen. And like I said, like, these are just like they get your blood pumping on just like it's just fun. It's chaotic, and it's great. And the more invasions like this that are either facilitated by hosts or even just invaders, like, again, like Jar Cannon and Flame Strike Banish Knight Greatsword, both solid things to use. Like, they're really strong, but they're not unfun, which I think is awesome. So the more time, like, again, use stuff that you find fun, and it can be good, but it's different than like the sleep halberd and bikes. Now here, we're a little bit lucky because the lock-on Giant's Flame take the pretty much undershoots almost every time, so you do have to manual aim a lot of the time. So here, I was a little worried because of the endure. However, I'm able to wait a little bit and be backed up by my fellow phantoms. I will say, Trash Can is a little intense. I don't know whether or not they fought this person before and were just irritated, but Reign of Golem arrows is crazy and not something that you often see. And there I'm being careful to take down those guys on the ceiling, because if I do that, then the Banished Knight reinforcements don't immediately show up and try and ruin your day. Alabaster Lord's Pull is so good, I love it. But yeah, like, this is another one of just like, we got a little lucky because the fireballs at first were falling short, but it's still just like we're moving through the level. We are, yeah, I'll admit, like, trash can is a little bit intense for what we're facing, but we're moving through the level. It's an honest squad, and sometimes you just get a little bit um unlucky, like that's not activated. I don't think Nomad realized that they could have walked off the edge and been able to go for the other banished knight and the other. And I don't know what madness spell they were going for, but it was certainly I think they're gonna try and get everybody, but thankfully just the poise damage of greatswords is great. Like, greatswords they're really good. I don't know if they're like overpowered. uh, Nomad I don't think deserved the phantom point down there, but I also don't know if trash can's just been having a super rough day or if they've fought him before. And because sometimes when people run specific names over multiple characters, or just for a lot of invasions, people can remember and be upset. Alright, and now here, I feel like we're going to be beating up Commander Neal a lot, just because Castle Soul's a really nice place for co-op. It, um, there I go, missing more backstabs. Because like the two banished knights make this fight, the start of this fight, really really difficult, because the 3v1 is rough. And so unless you use something like one of the it's not a sacramental bud, it's the witching branch, there we go. Sacramental buds are used to make it. If you don't have a bewitching branch to get the banished knights to you, one of the, like, it's just effective to have friends to just beat up the banished knights and then follow through and beat up Neal, because like Neal is like, he's a good boss and a fun boss to fight, and he does really really good damage. It's just, in my opinion, a lot easier fighting him by himself than dealing with banished knights with frost that also just blender you. And also like Sir Viper with like the snake stuff. I can't remember if he was using Serpent Bone Blade, but I appreciate the fashion, like with the katanas. And yeah, and there I forgot that I have Misericord on my soft swap, but that still did a good amount of damage. Yeah, because Moonlight is amazing, but I think Helfin's is like, if you're just smacking somebody, I think Helfin's Steeple does a little bit better if you're not able to just like use the heavy attacks, and the moonbeams as much. But now, here I am on the invader side against two guys with a bunch of zombies and giant crabs. Again, this is a pretty early iteration of the intelligence build, so I'm still getting things figured out. But yeah, this is just another one, except where I'm on the invader side. Like, we waved, we acknowledged each other. We're all using good stuff that's not necessarily unfun. Like, I know sometimes heavy thrusting swords can be a little bit unfun, but it's not like with how they're playing it. I'm having a good time. And I think they're having a good time in the fight too. Like, this is just chaos with all the PvE. Like, the host is using a scythe S-stock, or scythe thrusting sword, which is not the typical version of that, and it's really strong, but like it is pretty darn good for duels, especially with with the frost infusion. And here I'm not as, look at that, Night Comet hit both of them. Yeah, and that's the slight downside of like when you commit to something like Bolt of Cransack, sometimes magic can get in the way. And it's like, and I'm not gonna blame, like, because these are just two guys playing honest co-op in the thing. So like I'm not gonna blame Brunark, I'm not gonna blame offhand thrusting sword. Like they're just using strong fun stuff. And they're not, and there I was able to capitalize on the zombie munch. And yeah, like this is just a good brawl. And I probably said it like 6 times, and I hope you're all enjoying the fights and bearing with me on this one of just like uh, keep up good fights. Like if you're a host, just like keep playing the level, stand your ground, and give it your all. The invader's gonna have a good time because with there are some exceptions, but there are a good number of invaders that are just playing with a fun build that they find fun, and they just want to have a fun fight. And one of the best ways to just not invoke like the mean setups is just use whatever you find is like fun and reasonably good, and just like just fight. And then they'll probably, and like that honestly will keep like that's the best thing to keep away mean builds. hmm But yeah, here this fight is coming to a close. I hope you've enjoyed all of them. I hope you had a good time. We're still working on outros, but I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a great day.